there's a donation of $15, but that's just their suggestion. What a lot of tourists should know is that all you need to do is pay a penny, and they'll still give you a badge to get inside. $15 is what they'd like you to pay, but you certainly don't have to. So whenever you're in a museum here, check the prices. If it says suggested admission, that's just what they'd like you to pay, but you can pay anything.
Good tip.
Yes.
Right. You too? So, tell me a little bit, or tell us a little bit about the city and your relationship with it. How do you get inspired by the city for your work?
Right. Where do I begin? Quick question, am I looking at you or just looking this way?
Whatever you want.
Because you're moving, so I'm just curious, should I follow you or should I be in the same position?
You follow me.
Okay. My relationship to the city, where do I begin? I moved to New York City 15 years ago from Los Angeles. It changed my life. The city gave me everything I needed, everything I required to become a fully being. I found friends, I went to school, I found a job, I built a life for myself in a place that I think only New York would have allowed. It inspires me every day. That old adage, if you can make it here, you can make it everywhere, it's a cliche, but it's true. Because if you want it badly enough, you can have it in New York City. And I'm surrounded by people who are also inspired in that way, who are strong-willed, who are creative, who are good at what they do, who are good people, and who like being here. And I think New York is what makes that. I think it's what makes them who they are. Mm-hmm. The other nice thing about New York is that, hold on. Another great thing about New York is that it has, think places like this, the Natural History Museum, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Guggenheim, the Tenement Museum, Rockefeller Center. In a very small amount of space, there's everything you could possibly imagine. Dioramas that inspire, stories that make me want to draw, they make me want to paint, people that make me want to do the same. It's never been my experience in the United States that there's any place like this that brings out so much in so many people in places like this and other places that we've been.
So tell me, for you, which would be like the relationship with comic and arts? You know, I mean, in what sense comics are art?
Comics are art. High or low art, depending on how you choose. Because ultimately comic books tell a story, and all art tells a story. You can categorize it in any way you want. Impressionist, classic, Eastern or Western. But ultimately what comic books do, at their very, very best, is tell a story, they convey emotion, they ask people to think, and at their very best, they ask people to change. And I think you can never underestimate the power of a so-called low art or trash medium to affect change in a population. Just because it hang on a museum wall doesn't mean that it's not art. It just means it's a different kind of art. Comics require skill, they require energy, they require life. And if a reader can take something away from that, it can be just as transforming as a piece of art you might find in the Metropolitan or in the Louvre.
Mm-hmm. And in this art, where does New York fit? I mean, New York as a character.
Yes. One of the great joys about living in New York is it's almost like a living, breathing person. It's a character in and of itself. It has a pulse, it has a lifeblood, it has a skeleton and a structure, and a character that it has a character that is unlike any other. You can hear it in the background.
It's a noisy character.
It's a very noisy character. It's a noisy, cantankerous character. But by its look, by the way its population fills its streets, by the architecture, by its history, it becomes an almost living, breathing character, just as true or as real as Superman or Batman or Wonder Woman. The characters stop working if they don't live in a backdrop that has just as much excitement, that has just as much as life as they do. New York is definitely not anywhere USA. It's a very specific place, probably the cultural capital of the United States. There's a reason 8 million people live here, and they live here because of its character.
Tell us a little bit, how would be your best dream, regarding profession and personal for the future?
My dreams for the future, sort of a long answer. Ultimately, what I'm interested in most is blending entertainment and social progress. I live in a city that has the very best and the very worst of humanity, that has resources unlike any other. And my professional and personal dream is to meld those resources, to make entertainment, to make stories that excite and enlighten, and at the same time transform the population that takes them in. I think you can do both. I think the city provides the resources to do both. That's my dream, to take comics, to take movies, to take books, literature, and use them to transform populations that might not be transformed otherwise.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
So thanks for sharing that time with us.
Oh, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy New York. I hope everyone comes to visit. It's a great place, and there's so much for people to do here.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Mati Navarro. Soy originaria de la bellísima ciudad de Puebla. Y bueno, estoy aquí en el famosísimo y hermosísimo barrio del Artista. Un lugar encantador para todos los poblanos. Yo soy pintor artístico. Y bueno, yo manejo 4 técnicas, que es el óleo, el pastel, la acuarela, la difícil técnica de la acuarela, el lápiz. Yo creo que ahorita habrá oportunidad de ver estos cuadros, estas técnicas. Por este lado tenemos este bellísimo cuadro del famosísimo Quijote de la Mancha. Bueno, él siempre está representado peleando con los tremendos gigantes que son los molinos, pero en esta ocasión, en uno de esos viajes fantásticos, está en México y bueno, está peleando con él y con los cactus, y en este cuadro se ve que ya derribó a uno. También está el inconfundible Sancho, que ya tiene ahí un pequeño cotoncito que pasó por un pueblito y bueno, se lo puso, y su sombrero que caracteriza a los mexicanos. Es un cuadro precioso, está al óleo, como dije en un principio. A mí me encanta, me gusta, es muy, muy hermoso. Y bueno, por título tiene Encuentro de 2 culturas. Aquí tenemos una acuarela que es uno de mis cuadros preferidos. Son unos pies de un hombre de lucha, de trabajo, de fuerza. Y bueno, no hubo necesidad de pintar al hombre. Los pies dicen todo, y es uno de mis favoritos. Para mí fue un poquito difícil captar esa fuerza tremenda, pero creo que salió. Es bellísimo, a mí me encanta. Por este lado tenemos unas flores bellísimas. Me encantan los alcatraces, las margaritas. Bueno, este cuadro de los alcatraces me gusta muchísimo porque tiene una tremenda transparencia en la jarra. Esas luces, esas sombras, ese color, que las flores en sí son una belleza. Y bueno, traté de plasmarla en este cuadro. Por aquí tenemos unos cuadros muy, muy mexicanos, que es lo que más me gusta pintar. Son temas muy, muy mexicanos. En este tenemos unos juguetes clásicos de nuestro bello México. Y también tenemos este cuadro también es uno de mis preferidos, creo que todos son mis preferidos. Este cuadro tiene una anécdota muy, muy especial. Resulta que nosotros, digo nosotros porque éramos un grupo de mujeres poblanas, que íbamos a la sierra a dejar despensas, pan, ropa, zapatos, lo que más pudiéramos llevar. Y bueno, a esas mujeres de tanta necesidad. Y ellas con toda la alegría, con todo el gusto nos llevaban un presente, y su presente eran esas flores, esas bellas flores que dije al principio que eran mis preferidas. Era una alegría en ellas y al mismo tiempo meditaban, se sorprendían que nosotros con gran gusto las íbamos a visitar cada año. Y este cuadro por título tiene Llevando un presente. Es un cuadro bellísimo que dice mucho. Desde muy niña me encantaba la idea de pintar. Y bueno, yo le decía a mi padre que yo quería pintar, que quería ir a una escuela. Y él todo el tiempo me dijo que sí. Pero yo ahora lo comprendo porque fuimos nueve hijos. Y él era el único que trabajaba y creo que era un poco difícil. Pero finalmente estoy aquí pintando. Se me ha dado la oportunidad, la vida me dio esa gran oportunidad de pintar. Y estoy aquí en este bellísimo lugar del barrio del artista. Este lugar hermoso, lleno de magia, de color, de sensibilidad, de embrujo. Hacemos la atenta invitación que vengan aquí al maravilloso barrio del artista. Aquí los esperamos. Dense la oportunidad de visitar a los grandes maestros con tremendas técnicas, con unas obras impresionantes. Y el barrio siempre los va a recibir con los brazos abiertos. Conozcan este maravilloso lugar, esta joya que tenemos los poblanos.